Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a stat video of the series finale of Batman: The Enemy Within. As promised, since I didn't get a chance to show and go over the series finale stats, I want to do that right now with you guys. And I also want to point out one thing for first and foremost. I question validity. There you go. Validity of I'm gonna keep that in of these statistics, because apparently I did something that nobody did when I interacted with Harley. Because apparently, well, first of all, her story ended as her being an agency asset, so she works for Waller. Big surprise there. She'll be on whatever side to suit her needs. She's very manipulative, kind of like me, but I felt sorry for her in the beginning, honestly. But apparently myself and 0%, so that just means I set a precedent for telling her that I would bring her to justice, which I will if she tries to get out of Blackgate. I mean, why wouldn't I? She's a criminal. She's proven that. And she's mentally unwell. But a part of me thinks that she uses that because she's a doctor and all. She's a psychiatrist. I think she uses that to her advantage. So she's a lot... Well, of course she's a fucking doctor, but she's a very, very cunning, very manipulative, and you can't trust her as far as you can throw her, but she's very tiny, so if you're a big hulking strong dude, you can probably pick her up like Bane. But let's go through this real quick. Harley was ecstatic that the heist at Wayne Enterprises went off without a hitch, thanks to me. She was furious that the Pat abandoned her at the agency convoy raid, and that's because that choice with Bane and Harley, which to head off, is very, very misguiding, because a lot of people may not necessarily know what head off means. It pretty much means just to interrupt somebody. So whoever you interrupt in that sense would be the person that you would back up. So if I decided to head off Harley instead of heading off Bane in episode 2, the reverse phenomena would have happened. Harley would have escaped and Bane would have gotten left behind. So there's an insight for those of you who want to see me, Harley, Joker, and Victor get out instead of Bane. Pretty much, the dialogue, is different and the scenes are different, but that's pretty much all that happens. And then she genuinely came to trust me after I exposed Catwoman as the thief of Riddler's laptop, which, easy call there. I had to maintain my cover. And that sometimes involves sacrificing a few pawns along the way. However, she was heartbroken when I convinced John to subdue her. Hey, that was all him. That was all him. I didn't ask him to do that. I just trusted that he would bring the situation to a peaceful resolution. That's what I was trying. I was trying something different, guys. That's what the season was about for me. I was trying to do different things. Like I had to stop killing things in my mind's eye right away. There was no precedent for it. I didn't know what was going to happen. Let's try it. I don't know what's going to happen. How about this? Okay. And then now, thinking herself safe as an agency asset, she's dared me to try and bring her down. And I say, well, game on. One thing I don't like about these is that if I had viewed these during the credit scene, they would have played some more dialogue of their favorite lines, but that's okay. Let's move on, shall we? The agency head, Amanda Waller. If you watched episode 1, you knew off the bat right away I did not like her. And I thought she would grow on me like some characters do. She did not. She did not, and I saw through her shit right away. She's still the director of the agency, so she's still in charge, but I remain in a stalemate with her. I didn't beat her, but she didn't beat me. So it's kind of a bittersweet. I never really liked this, to be honest with you. I was like, ugh, really? They're gonna leave it like that with them, like up in the air on the series finale. First of all, while I was furious that I tampered with Mori after Riddler first resurfaced in Gotham, I did that just because I didn't want to piss off Jim. I didn't want to, you know, endorse her authority. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I work for her now, I'll question a dude that's in his cell. Nah. She disapproved of me calling Gordon after the first fight with Bane, but why wouldn't I call Gordon? Him and I were, you know, partners. I didn't know anything about the agency, and to be honest, I didn't quite know about their credentials. They seem to be like, oh, all of a sudden we show up, we solve problems, boop, it's all go away. We work in the shadows. Well, where were you a year ago when, oh, I don't know, Oswald Cobblepot and Harvey Dent went a little crazy? Explain that one. What about Vicky Vale? Could have used your help then. Lady Arkham? Maybe Alfred would have gotten kidnapped. I'm just saying. Am I bitter? No. While I was thankful, though, that I maintained my cover with the Pat for as long as I could, well, did the best I can do. I embedded myself as best I could, and eventually I got outed, but I did the best I can do. I'm sure you saw it. She then declared me an enemy of the state. I love those words. For siding with John Doe on the Gotham Bridge. Well, why wouldn't I? You tried to shoot him in the fucking head after he calmly and amicably brought things down to a close. So, who's the bad guy here? And finally, though my stalemate with Waller stands, she left Gotham as my enemy, just like Catwoman did in Season 1. So, she was the Selina Kyle, pretty much, of Season 1. Which, I'll get to her later. Jim Gordon. This could have gone a few ways, too. But, pretty much, what happened is that we stayed partners through it all. We had a lot of shit, though, but accepted his apology, and he was humbled that I would trust him with my secret association with Lucius Fox. And then when Waller berated me for tampering with our witness, Mori, Gordon supported me. He then felt trusted when I called him following Bane's initial attack, and then he felt sick that he demanded that I give up Catwoman to a GCPD ambush. And then finally, he was grateful when I forgave him for losing his self-control and letting Waller get to him. If that's not a tumultuous relationship, I don't know what it is. Like, oh man. You can tell it's not like, you know, I don't play, you know, one way. I try to do different things. But you may think this is all erratic, but no. It's not random. It's unpredictable, that's what it is. Miss Kyle, aka Catwoman. Like Harley, she's still an agency asset. However, the minority of players, 35.1%, made no deal with Waller on Selina's behalf. Well, why would you? Why would I make a deal concerning anything that would help her out after everything she's done the past 10 episodes? Bruce, that's why I played Bruce the way I did, and then I said to Alfred, hey, she uses charm to get her way, and she wants to get her way through life and glide through it using charm and her, you know, looks and everything. Oh, I'm a woman and I'm very, very attractive. Let me do it let me just appeal to, you know, every man's basic instinct. Yeah, okay. Not that stupid. So anyway, after her return to Gotham, Selina was irritated by my assertion that people never change. Well, I proved you right, didn't I? I never changed. I didn't change by switching up on you. I wasn't switching up. pretty much, if you look at the relationship with her, it was just a game of one-upping each other of how to hurt each other. That's what it was. I hurt you, oh, you hurt me back, and then I hurt you back. You hurt me back, I hurt you back. It's a very, very toxic relationship, which is very realistic. And then after I neglected to warn her about the GCPD ambush, Selena felt on edge around me. Big surprise there. She was disappointed that I rejected her help in cracking Riddler's laptop, and then she felt betrayed when I blamed her for the theft of Riddler's laptop, which, well, it was her and me. Self-preservation. And finally, I left Catwoman's fate up to Waller, and she reluctantly serves on the agency's covert task force. Reluctantly. Yeah, well, she'll keep it doing until she finds something better or something. It's crazy, though. If any of you have any different opinions or any different outcomes, feel free to let me know, because I only play it this way. Like I said, I've never played any other way. So, here you go. This is me playing Batman and his relationships with these characters. Tiffany Fox, right now, she's my protege. Which, I'm glad the majority of us did that. At first, I was like, okay, she's a little annoying, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, in a good way, I guess. But it's like, all right, you need to chill out with your nosy business, you know. But it's like she was digging, and she had a right to dig. You know, her father was killed in a big nuclear. Literally, he got nuked. So of course she's gonna do some digging. Tiffany felt betrayed, however, when I admitted my involvement in her father's death. Oh, that was a rough one. She was also worried for me when I told her to hide when I helped Harley steal the Phantom's key. And after she realized I was working with the agency, she regretted calling the cops on me. She was at first confused, but then completely blown away when he told her you were Batman. Or I was Batman, sorry, I fucked it up, damn it. I was trying so hard to replace the pronouns. Shit. L. And now Tiffany is repenting for... I'm sorry, I don't know why I stopped at that word. Tiffany is repenting for the murder of Riddler under my watchful mentorship. She needs a mentor right now. She needs a male figure in her life. It's nothing sexual, it's nothing dirty, it's nothing gross. It's me trying to help her out. That's all. I mean, pretty much, I was indirectly responsible for her getting nuked. So, kinda gotta do something there about it. Moving on. Ah, yes. Amana Vesta, which, by the way, when she was talking on the phone in Farsi, I looked up what that was. That was a Persian language. So, she's Persian. Did not know that. I like her. Although, I don't like her, for obvious reasons, but she made up for it. She was the one. There's always a character in these games where, at first I'm like, okay, I don't really like you, but now you're slowly starting to do it. Like Rebecca from Walking Dead and Violet from Walking Dead. Aman was those characters. And then by the end, I offered her a job as COO at Wayne Enterprises. Which, why not? Come work for me. Come work for me. Every fucking video. I'm sure I'll notice about it, but every fucking video I do, there's a goddamn siren going by, and I'm just, alright, I'm keeping that in, fucking. First of all, Avesta was traumatized by Riddler's game and the loss of her hearing. She lost her hearing because of me, but if I didn't cooperate, yeah, she wouldn't have gotten her hearing taken away from her, and she wouldn't have been traumatized, but her colleagues would have all been murdered in those cages. Their heads would have been essentially decapitated. So, you know, like Riddler said, I managed to keep everyone alive, but there was a cost. There's always a cost. You tell me if it was the right thing to do. Like, purchase the game for yourself and then don't cooperate. Be like an asshole to Riddler. See what happens. She was also apologetic, not finally, she was apologetic when I chastised her for revealing my secret identity to Waller, which, why wouldn't I? And then she was intrigued that I trusted John Doe to find Harley after she escaped Sanctus, because he hadn't betrayed me. He had always came through at that point, that's why. Then after helping me blackmail Waller, Avester is hopeful about her new position at Wayne Enterprises. I like though how she offered to, should I get armored up? And I'm like, nah, not yet. Maybe later on. However, she could be a good fighter. Maybe. I don't know. Like Lauren from the bar. I think that was the bartender from the stat deck that was part of Joker's crew. I'm not sure though. Moving on. Ah yes, father. My family. Okay. I know a lot of you are thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you, D? Why, after all this time, would you give up the mantle of being Batman? I'll tell you why. And you're thinking, you love being Batman, you love being brutal, you love being this and that. Yes, I do. But being Bruce in the Pact realized that I could also be just as brutal as Bruce and Batman, and I can still act the way I want to act and not have to compromise. So I figured, and then another thing, I said this in the video, if I had just Batman, at some point I would become the villain. At some point, because I was the last one left. It was just Alfred and Bruce pretty much. Yeah, someone would have arose probably, but there was that look. You all saw it. They both knew that eventually I'll have to bring him back. Eventually, but for now, I'm at least entertaining the idea of putting Batman away. Wasn't oblivious to the fact that I was getting fucked up every day and nearly killed on the line of duty. At some point, I guess I got sick of the battle. Didn't want to do it anymore. Plus, a vacation away from Gotham did sound pretty nice. After everything that happened. First he was vengeful, then he was relieved, then he was reassured, then concerned. And then he was cautiously optimistic about our shared future. Which, I understand that, and I was cautiously, I guess, realistic about it too. A part of that was just telling him what I wanted him to hear. But a part of it was like trying to cling desperately to like the last lifeline I had. Like, no. If I lose you, Alfred, then it just becomes a twisted, like, you know, I become Joker pretty much. That's kind of the sense that I got from it. I think Alfred is what keeps me, you know, down to earth, and it keeps me rooted in my code of not killing anybody. But I'll be brutal as I need to be. Yeah, I need a vacation, so let's move on. I mean, that's it. Here's the one I want to talk about. Joker. My fallen friend. Majority of us, though, we're still his friend. And that I'm good. And I'm good. I'm glad. Because, and let me break down our relationship for you. When he found me at the funeral, he was thrilled when I greeted me as friends, and then he was heartbroken when Harley was left behind in the convoy raid. That happens. He was grateful that I took his advice and blamed Catwoman for stealing Riddler's laptop, and then after I trusted him in the fun house, that's when it started to all come together. He devoted himself to help me clean up Gotham. If I didn't trust him in the fun house, he would probably have not been very happy, and you can probably guess what other V word would be in front of Joker. And then finally, he thinks I'm as crazy as he is for considering ourselves friends. I mentioned this earlier, or not earlier, I mentioned this in the videos, that there's been a plethora of variations of this character. And as much as I love to fucking death villain Joker, this was refreshing as fuck to me. And it's just, I swear to you, or I hand to whatever you believe, I do not know the other path for John. I don't. All I know is that his look looks like the Joker we all know from the olden days, which he looks more like the one I know, but I have no idea what happens, and I kind of don't want to know, so don't tell me. But he's still a friend of mine. Plus, I like the look. Like he said, he's wanted to go for Batman, but him. Dark and sinister like Bruce, but flashy and fun. You saw it all in episode 5. Imagine that, though. Like, I'm not sure if any of you read the comics right now, but there's like an alternate version of Gotham, and in that alternate version, there's the Batman who laughs. And imagine Bruce as villain Joker. Walks like Bruce, sounds like Bruce, but he acts like villain Joker. Well, here's the opposite phenomena right here. Joker with the mind of Batman. In a way, it's more terrifying. But hey, wasn't it fun? Alright, and unfortunately we didn't have anything for Bane. So they kind of just tossed him aside, I guess. When it came to saving Willie or the agent, it's simple. Willie, although, you know, you'd have either a violent or, you know, somewhat tense interaction with him in the stacked deck, he's still Joker's crew, and he's from Gotham. That's also what I liked about episode 5. It was like Gotham staying against the agency, because we all recognize the fact that, hey, we may be different in terms of society and law and whatever, but we recognize a bigger threat when we see it. And that was the whole entire philosophy behind this whole entire season. Recognizing the bigger threat, and recognizing that, hey, just because someone has a badge doesn't mean they're on the side of the law, you know? So you gotta be very careful about that. So I say Willie. Cost an agent life, but yeah, I didn't like him anyway. And majority of us did just that. So majority of you guys took her with you. I mean, I'm sure if it was just like, you know, if you left her behind in the Batcave, then she would have just been like Lucius. But damn, I guess that's, well, I'm glad it's majority. Moving on. Yeah, hell no. I'm glad that majority of us decided not to do that. 68.5%. That's incredible, though, isn't it? Interesting. Never realized how badass that image looks. He's in the spotlight and everything. I like that. I mean, what would happen? I mean, I know I asked to put Bane and Harley in prison, but I didn't want to hand him over. That probably would have pissed him off even more. He probably would have tried to kill me right then and there. So, this is very, very different. I'm surprised the majority of you decided to let Alfred walk out. I don't know what happened. Like I said, there's also another thing. I've never not given up Batman at this point. I don't know. Why wouldn't you give up Batman? It's your father. Like, that's the man who raised you, pretty much. That's the man you see as your father, like, you know. But then again, when I was thinking to myself, oh, Alfred would never do this. Alfred would never make Bruce, or he would never give Bruce an ultimatum. Oh, give up Batman or else I'm leaving. Like, I don't think he would ever do that. Well, he did. And you saw what I did. I was in the minority, folks. Was it the right call? Good question. You're watching it here, folks. You be the judge. If you don't like it, well, buy the game and change it. But that's what I feel I needed to do. I needed to give up Batman and just be Bruce for a little bit. Be a struggle, but it's like, you know, giving up cigarettes or alcohol. Batman was my drug. And finally, which Joker? Obviously, it's either Vigilante Joker or Villain Joker. The majority of us fought the good Joker. Well, closest to good as can be. You know, I know a friend that I watch on YouTube. Knowing him, he would probably create Villain Joker just because he would be stupid enough to do it. He would probably do something that's so out of whack, and he would, like, I can see him doing it too. Oh god. Oh god, if you're watching this, dude, please don't do that. Like, don't watch this. Matter of fact, just do what your own thing. 55.1% though. It was close though. Very close. So that's it, everyone. Jesus. That's everything. And then finally my photos. John took a lot of photos. That's me and Willie. That's me and Batman. I love that photo. That was a good episode. In a different universe, maybe those, yeah, Bruce, Harley, Joker, Bane, and Mr. Freeze. Different universe, those guys would be together and they'd be a duo. Those five would be just kicking ass. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's been about a half hour or so. Thank you all for watching this stat video. It's finally over. This will be the last recorded video for Batman, The Enemy Within. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And they all fell down to the deep to drown, to the dark to drown. End your recording.